20th century, we saw some remarkable developments for women. We saw women getting the right to vote. And then we saw women receiving higher education. And then we saw women in the workplace in larger numbers than ever. But the missing link in all of that, the bridge, was access to quality child care.
Child care resource and referral services were started by young mothers who needed to solve a problem and who were activists by nature and training.
I worked part-time as a French teacher, and I needed part-time child care. So I met a lot of mothers from my neighborhood in Golden Gate Park in the children's playground, and we got together and organized a little playgroup called the Yellow Garage. I think we had originally 12 families, and I would have, on any given time, maybe that many or more on a waiting list. So what I started to do is that when I would get a group of children about the same age in a similar neighborhood, I'd say, well, you could come together for a little meeting at my house, and I'll teach you how to run a playgroup.
In about 1972-73, Patty was in a playgroup with her children, and I was in a playgroup with my child on different sides of the bay. We were in Berkeley, she was in San Francisco, and the idea was simply to have a support system for families. And then as the economy changed, and as more families, in more families both parents needed to work, there were more single-parent families coming along, there was obviously a need to make it more formal in terms of child care options.
From the very beginning of the network, we and our member agencies have been committed to 4 major goals. The first is helping parents find the child care services that most meet their needs through referrals, counseling, and education. We document what we hear from parents on the phone and turn it into really good information about the cost, supply, and availability of child care in communities throughout the state. We use that information to help build and improve the supply of quality child care through our recruitment, training, and professional development activities. And finally, we advocate at the local, state, and national level for the accessible, affordable, and quality child care services families in all our communities need and deserve.
Nationally, we have an opportunity to have a network support not only the health and survivability of families, but the health and survivability of communities.
Network is such a wonderful partner because they're in contact not only with child care providers and centers in every single community of California, but also with parents.
We always want to remember that child care resource and referral services are here for everyone. Regardless of income, regardless of where they live, regardless of their particular needs.
0 to 12-year-olds, she's open from 6 to 6 and licensed for 14.
And I was just going off maternity leave and having to go through a list of 40 child care providers just to find something that was, I think, a minimum basic for my 2 children because I was relocating to a new community. And so when I shared my experience of the whole child care search, this group was tremendously supportive and really listened, and I felt heard that they really were about trying to provide a quality process of helping parents through a search that gave them peace of mind.
Making the right match for parents and children with child care, I think, has been the major task and continues to be.
So you have to be open to listening to people, and they will tell you what they want, and they will tell you what they need.
Sometimes they look at having friends or family members take care of their children. That sometimes is a good situation, sometimes not, because you don't have that commitment, and sometimes they find themselves in trouble when their sister has to go do something else, maybe has an appointment of her own, and so they're not available for child care, so it's not consistent care that they have.
I had looked into a daycare center, and I had also looked into having a friend watch the baby. In the home care, well, the advantage I feel is that there's a lot more one-on-one care, and I can see it because he requires a lot of one-on-one care at home, so I know he's getting it here too. She just made me feel comfortable, made the baby feel comfortable. I felt I could trust her, and it's just a good feeling I had with her.
Okay. Well, one of the things that we realized is in order to do the best job, like telling the child care story in local communities and statewide, we had to figure out a way to take all the incredible knowledge and data that each and every one of our 61 members had locally and figure out how we could sort of add it up. We were really fortunate to have the funding from the David and Lucille Packard Foundation originally to develop the California Child Care Portfolio that is county by county, a description on one page of child care needs and on the other page child care supply. That kind of data and that sort of documentation of the gaps in service is really what stimulated us to start the Child Care Initiative Project. Because we're sitting here saying, okay, we know the demand, we know the need, we know the supply. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could actually do something about it? We've been able to recruit and train a huge number of people and really expand the supply of licensed family child care in those communities where it's most needed. That training really has to be tailored and adapted to meet the needs of our incredibly diverse population. So it means not only providing training in the languages of the communities where we're working to see that there is quality, affordable, and available child care. It means having R&R staff members who themselves represent the culture that we're reaching out to.
Buenas tardes, habla Sandy de las oficinas de educación.
And it means in that training helping women who may have been farm workers a year before understand the business practices, how to market and adapt their services to be successful in the public child care marketplace.
Sí, es así. Y tiene aquí como dividido, pero tiene más.
How when they come, they're so scared, and once they're going through the process, they're growing, they're learning, they feel more confident. It feels like I'm the link in between the network and the providers. Well, knowing that we can count on the network, and I know they're always there for us, they're always there to help us. It's kind of like a chain. They come to us, and if we don't have the answer, we know that the network will be there to answer any question.
We cover the whole state. We hear the real needs from parents directly and from providers of all types, and we can take those messages immediately to the policy arena.
One of the things that I'm particularly proud of that the network has started over the last 5 years is something called Parent Voices. A very important effort to help teach parents how the child care system works and to give them the confidence and the advocacy skills to actually represent their own needs.
One of the first things that I did for Parent Voices last year was testified on behalf of the low-income working parents that aren't able to make it.
Parent Voices brings the stories of all the families who need child care. We put faces to the numbers of families waiting for child care, and I think that we bring the passion also.
One voice, one person makes a difference. This organization makes a difference. But more importantly, those 61 member agencies in some of the most difficult conditions really are mitigating the struggles that children and parents encounter as they try to find quality child care. So I think we're making a difference.
The power of the network is the people and the passion that they bring to assisting families and children. And I think protecting the most important resource that we have, which are kids and the future.
Child care is an area that historically has been underfunded and undersupported by the business community and by public officials. We at Providian think that resource and referral is really the fundamental first step to an effective child care system in a community. If you don't know where the resources are, you simply can't use them. And I'm hopeful that we'll see a lot increasing involvement from the business community in the area in the future.
And I want to congratulate the California Child Care Resource and Referral Network. It's actually national. It's not just California. It's all over the country. And I want to congratulate you on your 20 years and your 20-year anniversary. You folks have been doing an incredible job to raise the profile, the importance of quality child care for a child's success in school and later on in life.
Working together in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors, I know we will be successful. And we will be successful because of the California Child Care Resource and Referral Network.
Every time I go to the Capitol, I don't ever want to go alone again. I want to go with representatives from all types of sectors, with parents, with business leaders, with union leaders. I want people to understand that quality child care is an issue for all of us. It really is the future of our state, the future of our country, and the future of mankind.